Switching subjects now to minority entrepreneurs in the technology industry. TechCrunch founder Michael Arrington came under fire for some of the comments that he made about women and minorities. He said there aren't many minority or female entrepreneurs in technology. Is that correct? SheBytes founder Renee Schmidt joins us. She says Arrington's opinions were not very PC, but the question is, was he right?
That's a great question. And you know, I am a founder of SheBytes.com, which is a tech blog, but I'm also a principal and co-founder of a cloud computing company, so I am a female entrepreneur as well. So I do have a little bit to say on this subject. You know, I feel that Michael's comments were taken a little bit maybe out of context, and the reason I say that is because, you know, women and minorities, just because they are women and minorities and they're in tech, he was saying that investors are actually looking to give them a boost and they're dying to diversify their portfolios and invest in women and minorities. But if that's the case, I mean, and the statistics are against these women and minorities, then, you know, you have to wonder, the ones that are actually at the top and at a place where they're eligible to be funded, you know, you have to agree that they've gone against the grain. They're against societal norms. They've gone to the top where others don't, and that suggests that they're stellar business people and that they take risks. And aren't those the type of people that you would want to fund if you were an investor?
We have some numbers. I think we can put these up on our screen. Women start only 3% of tech firms. 3%.
3%.
Women contribute to fewer than 5% of IT patents. And then venture-backed companies run by a woman have 12% higher revenues. Isn't that interesting?
So interesting. And you know, it's incredible, but it's not shocking. You have to understand that women just inherently have a different perspective on technology, and so their input is unique. And originally, when I had started SheBytes, I wanted the tech blog to be for women.
Right.
But as I came to soon realize, it's very difficult to build a following for a tech blog amongst women because my readership is generally male. So I have this blog that's posited for women, yet
Right.
the comments are all still coming from men, and it's mostly men that are reading the blog. So what I realized is that it's not really that the blog needs to be for a man or for a woman. It's the perspective from which it's written that's interesting. Because I feel that men usually look at technology from the perspective of, you know, functionality and features. The what, you know, what can this do for me, and what is the release date, for example. Whereas women are more interested in features, or like, how can this benefit me? So they're always asking the why and the how, like, what is this going to do for me, and why do I need this, and how is this going to be good for my life? Like, what's the practical use here? And so it's interesting that women actually perform better as tech entrepreneurs. They just have a different perspective. I mean, it
Yeah.
is what it is.
You know, I think of women who've done so well heading up companies. Sally Kreschauer for a while, Meg Whitman, Carly Fiorina. So, I mean, some really, really talented people.
Yeah.
I just wonder why there aren't more of them out there.
It's interesting that you bring that up. I wanted to suggest that it's a lack of interest, and that's more anecdotal evidence that I've seen from my blog and knowing who my friends are. And, you know, I'm one of so few amongst all of the people that I know being a female entrepreneur in tech. But I actually got a Google alert this morning that the University of Iowa had conducted some research led by a professor of business called Frank Schmidt, who shares my last name,
right.
But no relation. And he actually found that the disparity amongst men and women in the tech space is a result of a lack of interest.
Really? A lack of interest? I wonder why that would be.
I mean, it's hard to say, and you know, in 10 years that might be a different statistic entirely, because technology is so pervasive in our everyday lives, and kids are starting to use technology from such an early age. And now technology is so much less expensive that, you know, children have apps and cell phones from like 10 years old.
I know.
So who knows what that'll look like in 10 years. But, you know, today, I mean, from what I do see, it definitely is a function of lack of interest. I don't think that there's industry roadblocks that are preventing women and minorities from succeeding in the Silicon Valley space.
I use my daughters to set up all my computer programs. They're teenagers, you know. Even my wife is more adept at technology. What about Minorities as well. What's your experience with this, Basil? I mean, you've run your own company.
Right. You know, it's interesting. I do think there are some barriers to entry, maybe in engaging venture capitalists. I mean, there seems to be some feeling that there is, I don't want to say resistance, but skepticism about whether some of these companies will succeed. But I'll actually go back even a little further. There is some research, you talk about research, there's some research to suggest that across the board, there are a lot of people of color that are not actually going into math and science majors in college, that there is in some ways being steered away from that. So if you use the math and the sciences as a vehicle to get into more technology-based careers, there is a lack. We're seeing a deficiency in high school and college of people of color actually taking advantage of those types of study. So maybe there's something that even needs to be done on that level to spur some more engagement and more entrepreneurial activity down the road.
Sounds good. All right. Basil, thanks. Renee Schmidt, founder of SheBytes.com. Company's doing well?
My cloud computing company is doing great. The
Great.
blog is doing great as well. So I recommend everybody go check it out. Now it's, for male and female readership. It's from a woman's perspective, a little different.
All right,
but
good
it's
for
fun.
you. You look so young to be doing this. Congratulations.
Thank you so
Good for
much.
you.
And I didn't major in a technology field at all.
What did you major in?
In finance.
Really?
And just decided to become an entrepreneur. Cloud computing is where things are at.
Where'd you go to school?
Baruch, actually, here in New York City.
Good for you. All right. Best of luck to you. It's fun talking to you. Renee Schmidt, founder of SheBytes.com. Check it out, everybody. SheBytes.com. I'm going to go check it out as soon as I get off the internet.